inside the container. Got it? Everybody clear? And any Linux command, whatever command you want to run, that will be run using the run command. Command will be exactly same. Before the command, you will put run. Any doubt? If you do anything or not, run and copy, definitely you will use. So understand run. Any command you want to run, you will use run. Let's see, run, set -x, and all these commands, it is add group system, add group. This all Linux command. This is just a script for server needs, do this, echo this thing. Everything we are, whatever you need to run, you will use run. And you can use run multiple times, or you can use @ symbol to combine multiple commands. You see, apt-get update, apt update build dependency package. So you can use this and symbol. So you need to mention run once. We will see. We will see this how we can do that. Everybody clear with run? Copy command, as the name says, copy command has two arguments. It will copy the files or any package from source to destination. Source will be in your host where you are creating Docker file. Destination will be inside the container where you want to put. So remember, we are putting nginx file or any text file from the source to Docker. We are doing volume mapping. So volume mapping is good if you are managing container, you are running application. But if you want to push container to Docker file or Docker hub, they don't know where is your file. You need to put that file inside the container. So you can use copy command. Let's say you have a tar file and you want to push the tar file from your workstation, from your local laptop, from your workstation inside the container. You will use a command add. So any tar file .gzip file, you can get the source tar file and put it into the destination. Got it? Right? Work there, as I said, you can create a work location inside the container where you can copy all the files, where you can put all the packages, library directories, and it will be presented in one single working directory, so that you know which directory you need to target in terms of troubleshooting. Work there means what is your working directory. Yesterday we created a work there /app inside the container, right? That is the same thing it is creating here. Okay. Now, two very important things, entry point and command. I already explained it 2 times. Today, we will see it in action. Entry point is the instructions that will run while running the Docker container, and we cannot override it. We can append a command, but entry point, we cannot remove it or change it. It will definitely be run. What is CMD? CMD is the command. It will run while running the container, and we can change it. So if you have some file or script which you want definitely to run, you cannot avoid it running, you will put it under entry point. If you have some basic command that can be changed, you can put it under the CMD. What are the instructions? What are the instructions? Something like this. CMD is this. Entry point is this. So you see, in nginx, we have both entry point and CMD. So we can change this argument. We can remove nginx-g daemon of this. We can change, but we cannot change this script to run. This script will definitely run, right? So that is the difference between entry point and CMD. If someone asks you any Docker question, this will be there definitely one question, entry point and CMD. If you say, yeah, I create Docker file, cool. So that is how we'll create. So obviously we'll create a simple Docker file. We'll try to add some commands. All right. So everybody understood the syntax of Docker file, right? All these things are clear. Anybody has any doubt in any of them?
Sir, I have one doubt. So which one will be overridden, sir? Entry point or CMD?
CMD. Entry point cannot be overridden.
Okay.
Yeah, just remember, entry point cannot be overridden. It will definitely be run. You can add an argument to entry point, but entry point, you cannot remove it. It will be running, definitely. Okay. CMD arguments can be removed. You can add your own argument. Remember, we were adding /bin/sh. We were adding some other commands while running the Ubuntu container. But entry point, we cannot. Cool. Entry point, you cannot. CMD, you can. Just remember. All right. So, yep. So this is one Docker file. We can create it. So sample Docker file is there. Let's come here. Let's start our Docker server. Oh, I'm in Tokyo. Let's start this VM. Okay, it is running. Let's connect. Yeah, it is there. Just a moment. So, yep, this is running. Let's connect again. Now it is connected. Maybe it was not at that time. Sometimes, if you immediately connect, it's not completely up, right? Cool. So my container, just check whether container is running, or sorry, Docker is running or not. System CTL status. It is not running, right? You see, it is inactive. It is loaded, but it is inactive. So system CTL is start Docker. Why it is that Docker engine is disabled? Oh, I need to be root actually. Yep. So Docker is installed as a root. So now we can check status. Now it is running. Cool. So yeah, you need to be root. All right. So now I will create our own Docker file. Okay, that is the only thing we have. And in the weekend you can practice. On Monday we will have a Docker question answer. So if you have any doubts on the Docker and Docker commands, we will do it on Monday. And next day onward, we can start Kubernetes. Okay. So as I said, everything you have to create in a Docker file. So let's create a directory where I will be putting my Docker images, something like this, or maybe just put Docker, my Docker. And let's go into the my Docker. Cool. So this will be my working directory where I will be creating a Docker file. Correct. So let's create VI. The name should be exactly Docker file. You can change the name, but this is a convention, and most of the places you will see this file only. VI Docker file. Let's create a simple Docker file. What is the first syntax? From. Correct. What is the first syntax? From. And from means base image. So let's check what is the from means. From means base image. So what, and this is the one we are doing. You can practice this one. From, we can use Ubuntu. If we just put Ubuntu, it is going to use the latest one. Or you can come to Docker Hub. You can come to Docker Hub, search for Ubuntu, click on it. And if you want very specific version, you can come here and click anyone. Let's say I want maybe 20.04, right? I don't want 20.10, I want 20.04. This is very specific version I need in my Docker file. So I will come here and I will put Ubuntu colon 20.04 just to verify this is the right. Yes, 20.04. So that means My base image will be Ubuntu 20.04. Everybody remembers from, right? Now, label. Now, what is the label? Is in key value pair. Maintainer equals to input vikas.sing at the rate anything, right? JSONTech.com, anything. This is the label. Who is maintaining this file, right? That is what we saw. Any maintainer is this only. So it's just this file from scratch. It's just a base operating system, nothing else. So if you want to see Nginx, so any syntax you want to verify, come to any any image Docker file officially, you can see maintainer equals to, that's it in double quotes. Yeah, so that's it. This is the syntax. So I will put the same way, so that while running the container, I should not get any error. That's it. Come to the end of the file. That's it. All right. So this is the base image. Then I'm mentioning who is going to manage this image. What is the next thing? Then let's say I want to install something, any command I want to run. So I will then run. I want to update the Ubuntu. What is the command? apt update -y. I want to run this command because I want to update it. After this, maybe I want to install some other application. So I will put run and apt install vim-y. This we can do, but we understand that every command we run, every line of Docker file is a new layer in Docker image. So that means in order to compress the Docker layers, we need to make sure that most of the commands we are putting in under one command. So this is perfectly fine. It will work. This will also work. You can run mkdir. You can create a directory called maybe what I will say. Let's say what should I? Oh, maybe test Ubuntu folder. This directory I can create. So these three commands I can run, but just the problem is all these three will be a separate layer, and I don't want this to happen because container will be big and it's not a best practice. So what I can do is I can run because they all are commands only. They are part of run only. So what I can do is I will run and another command apt install anything you can install, right? So vim maybe I already there. So vim is already there. So but anyway, let's say apt install vim and you want to say mkdir my folder. That's it. Where you want to create /app/this, right? mkdir/myapp. Just so it will create a myapp directory, something a myapp1. So it will create a new directory in root myapp1. So under the run, I have included three commands using this double end syntax. So that means it is all three commands will be one layer. So my Docker image size will be little less. Okay. Everybody understood this part?
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
this you will see everywhere. So this is only one run command, but it has at least 20, 30 instructions everywhere. And upgrade, install everywhere. And case this and so double and every command you can run. So you don't need to mention different layers. Perfect. Now I have one more file in my local host. I want to copy it. So I will copy it. And before that, I can create a work directly. So after this, I will say work dir. What is my working directory? I will say /app1 is my working directory. Correct? And I created here. If you don't create, this will already create. You don't need to worry. If you create, it's already used it. So I don't need to use this one, but I wanted to show that you can use multiple commands. So that's one I'm using. Or maybe I can do one thing. I can remove it so that you can see that it's not needed. Or maybe I just don't need it. Right? I don't need it. So I am just using, and now I'm using workder/app. So what it will do, it will create an /app folder without using mkdir. That is the advantage of workder. Correct? And then I can do it. I can copy a file. what is my copy? So let's say I will create a sample file called app.py. I will create just one line and I will put it into the app directory. So what I will do, as soon as I say copy app, workdir/app, that means your container's default location will become /app, right? So you don't need to mention directory. Just put dot forward. It will just simply means on the current location you want to push app.py. What is the current location? /app. Understood? Workdir means this will become your current location. Correct? So I am copying this file which I will be creating in my localhost and I will put it there. Everybody clear? Right? That's it. And then what we can do? Yeah. I mean, yeah, it like install apt get install nginx. You can run any command, right? Technically. So this is just a sample. And then I will run a cmd and I can use anything. Anything. Let's say I will use all the commands will be under echo. And I will say this is from cmd, right? Everything clear? All right. So this is my container image, right? We don't have anything. We can create environment variables also. And what else? If we have any tar file which I want to copy, I can use add also. So anything you can use here. So let's say you want to add any tar file. You have a tar file. What you will do is you will click add, and my tar file name is xyz.tar. xyz.tar, and I want to put it in some directory. I will put either in current directory or I want to put it in some other directory, maybe /temp. So this tar file, which is currently present in my host, it will be put into the /temp. Okay, so it's the same thing. So we don't need it. Try to practice some whatever you need, but at least basics. All right, and this is the command. So when I will run this container, this will run, and we can override this also. Correct? So these two will run, but let's see. Everybody clear this Docker file? Very basic Docker file. Let's save it. Perfect. Let's save it. And I need to create an app.py because I'm copying that file, app.py. So I just need to put anything, right? Print. That's it. Because I just want to copy file, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Right? So now in this directory, I have app.py Docker file. Let's open the Docker file and see the content one more time. From Ubuntu 20.04, I'm maintaining it, I'm updating it, installing, I'm creating a workdir/app, then I'm copying app.py to the app, and then I'm running echo. This is cmd. That's it, nothing else. Now, how do I build this container? How do I build it? The command is docker build. If you want to give it a tag, you will see -t and name. Let's say I will say my image 1. Okay, my image 1. And what is the location of my Docker file? I will give full path, whatever is the location. But my Docker file is in present directory, so I will put dot only because it is in current directory only, right? And enter. Now it is going to build every image. And remember, every image is, so apt does not have a suitable CLI interface. Okay. So maybe because we are installing Vim and something is not there. Anyway, let's see what happens. So it is going to install. If you have anything which doesn't exist, it will give all the errors. And you see, successfully built the image. So if you have a huge Docker file, you can see what it missed. So it's saying delaying image, can apt utils is not installed. Anyway, that's fine. So apt util is not installed. So it is upgrading. We did the app upgrade. So 4 packages can be upgraded. So this is just a normal error. We don't need to worry. apt does not have a CLN style. Okay, that's fine. Because we are running this update and update -vim. That's fine. So no big deal. All good. There is no major error. Where my image is, I will say Docker image. All right. So I can see my image 1 is there and it is 181 MB. So image is created. Now I want to create a container out of this image. So let's see that. Let's quickly create it, Docker images. Using this image, I need to run or create a container. I will say Docker run, maybe -d on the backend, -it. Okay. Oh yeah, -d -it. And then what is the image name? My image one. That's it. This is it. Let's run it. What happens? It is run. Okay, I don't need to run actually in backend because I want to see the output, right? So I don't need to run in the backend. So let's see docker ps minus a. Okay, so it exited and it ran the one command, but it ran in the backend, so we could not see. So let's run the same again, but without this option, because we want to see the output. We don't want to run in backend. You see, this is from CMD. So that means the Docker file I created, what was the output? Every time somebody runs this container, this command will be running. Definitely this command will be running because it is under CMD. But can we override it? Yes, we can. Let's do that. Docker run. Okay. This time -it and let's override. Let's say I want to run echo I from terminal. Okay. Let's run it. It says hi from terminal. Okay. So in this command, it says this is from CMD. Here it says hi from terminal. That means CMD can be overridden. Everybody understood? This CMD instruction can be overridden. All clear?
Yes, sir. But
All
I
right.
do have small doubt. Why the
Yeah.
container got stopped, sir?
Container is, what is container? Container is nothing but a process running inside container. And what process I'm running inside container? What is the process I'm running? Only echo command, right?
Yes, sir.
So it will run echo and done. If you have a web server running, it will running. It will have any application which is running or any process, it will keep on running. You getting my point? So if
Yes,
the
sir.
process is not running, the same command, if you remember, Docker. Good question actually. Is that you see nothing is there because process ran and it exited. Got it? So that is why. But if you have a web server or something like this, come here. So if you see this Nginx server, what is the command it is running? It is going to run the Nginx server in a daemonless mode. And on top of it, you can change this command. What is the entry point? This will definitely run. It will keep on running. This is script, whatever script this is doing. Right? So now let's quickly create an entry point also. Any doubt till here? You
No,
got
sir.
it why it is stopped, right? Because we are not running anything. If I type echo, done. It is done. Let's check the output of previous command, success. So because it's a small container, right? We are not running any application or any web server. So the process ran and it exited. Done. Khatam. All right. Now let's create a entry point instruction just to make sure. Right. This time I'm going to add an entry point also. Right? Let's add an entry point and remove CMD maybe. I don't need CMD so that you can see the difference. You can have both also, but we already have seen enough CMD. So now let's see entry point. Entry point. Same it takes. Entry point, same style argument it will take. We'll type echo. Now this is from entry point. Right? This is from entry point. And you save it. So what do you think? If I run the container, will it reflect or not? What do you think? I created a new Docker file. So now I need to create a new container image, right? Because it's a new Docker file now. You got it?
Sir.
Exactly. So now I need to create a new new image. Let's put it my image 2. So now this is a second image, but this image has entry point, not CMD. And CMD we override. Let's build it. It's done very quickly. Why it's done very quickly? Can you tell me? Why it is done very quickly? While we ran the first image, it took some time.
Because the
Because
image is already there And we just
Perfect. You got it. Very good. So because the only thing we change is entry point, rest everything is same, right? So till here, it is using cache, using cache, using cache, using cache. So all these instructions were already present in my terminal, local machine. So that is what it is getting from the cache. It's very quickly. The only instruction it needed to add was this entry point. That's it. That's layer only. Done. Everybody understood. Very good. Docker images. My image 2 is created. Cool. Now I will run the container using this image. Docker run. What is my image to my image 2? Okay, my image 2 run. It says this is from entry point. All right. Now let's try to override it. Right? Let's try to override it. Run IP and let's override it. I will say echo from terminal. Right? Enter. Now you see this is from entry point is there, but echo from terminal is added. So that means entry point we cannot completely override. However, we can add the instructions if we need. Everybody is clear? This is a very important concept of any interview or any real life also. Anybody has any doubt? Because we are using the entry point instructions, because we are using this entry point instruction, you cannot remove it. This will definitely run. If you want to run some other commands, you can add it here. But unlike CMD, where we can completely remove, entry point cannot be removed. Everybody's clear?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. This is the only difference. This is
Sir,
the
while running the Docker file, it is using cache, sir. So
yes.
like I just want to use the same file after 6 months, sir. So then the apt-get repository will not be updated, no, sir.
No, because that time it ran only, right? So if you want to update, that is why you need to keep on updating. Correct? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will be it. So we will see. So today actually I have a meeting also. So today will be a short session. Tomorrow is a Saturday, but we can have a half-hour session tomorrow also, if you all are okay.
We
You
are
all are
okay.
okay? Perfect.
Okay.
So tomorrow also we will have a session. Anybody has any doubt till here? So tomorrow we will create a repository. It's very easy actually. So we'll go to the, everybody can go and create a Docker Hub account. It's free. So we can come here, dockerhub.com, come to sign in. I already have account. It's a free, like normal account, right? And then you can do your ID and your password. It's a Docker Hub account. And now I'm inside the Docker Hub. Now you want to see how many repositories are on the top. So these are the repositories. Last push 2 years ago. Last push 5 years ago. So maybe 5 years ago I was testing some test and here. So that is the old images. So if I use this image, it will definitely be very old, right? And you see some 16 people have already downloaded it. It's nothing, it's just a test image. This is my test because it's a public repository, right? For private repository, you need to pay. 5 people have downloaded this also. Let's say for today's session or tomorrow, I need to create a repository. I will click on create repository. I will give it a name, description, and create a repository. For public, it will be for anybody can search it. For private, it will be only visible to you. But I think for private, you need to pay. And this is the instructions we will follow to tag our image, and then we will push the image from the terminal. Let's say this is my image ready. I am working on an open source project. So this is the image that is ready. I will create this image. I will tag this image, and then I will push it to Docker Hub repository. That is what we will do tomorrow. Correct? It's very easy. So if you don't have, you can create a Docker Hub account, and then I will show you how to pull an image, push an image, everything. So I mean, I don't use Docker Hub. You see, 5 years, 2 years. Sometimes I use only. Mostly we just search for the open source because everybody work in a company, so use private repository, right? You don't use Docker Hub. But Docker Hub is good for testing, and almost all the good images are already there. So whatever HTTPD, all sort of things are there. So yep, we'll create everything tomorrow. Anybody, any doubt on today's session?
No, I do not have any doubt.
Cool. So tomorrow, same time, we'll connect for maybe 30-40 minutes. We'll create a Docker Hub account. We'll connect it. create an image and push the image to Docker Hub, and then we'll download the image from the Docker Hub. So this is the real life example we'll see.
Okay, sir.
All right, guys. Yep. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Yeah.